put onto the field and honor those who serve this country.
Performances throughout the state, and was nominated this year as the North Carolina High School Choral Teacher of the Year.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
You're watching the American Legion World Series as part of Summer of Next, presented by Geico, as we welcome you inside Peter Stadium. Another beautiful Sunday afternoon, great day for baseball. And Illinois, Missouri will get things rolling. The first of 3 games today, and it is an important matchup for both clubs as we take a look at the standings up to this point. Last night, Danny Ream and Louisiana moved to 3-0. Idaho Falls later tonight will try to do the same, and the other teams all at 1-1, trying to stay alive and get into that semifinal on Monday. Hi, everybody. Mike Gleason along with the former Milwaukee Brewer ace, Steve Woodard. You're all geared up, ready to go?
Ready
the
to
distance?
I'm ready to go, man.
All right, you look at the matchup. Couldn't ask for a better matchup to start the day.
Yeah, great matchup. Both teams are 1-1. Whoever wins is in to get into the semifinals, and if you lose, you go home. So,
all right,
they got to do everything they can to get there.
No
man.
gray area there. Huh?
No gray area there at all, and I'm looking forward to a good matchup.
All right, Illinois will be the visiting team. So, who are they going to face on the mound?
They're going to face Jordan Duncan, and Jordan Duncan's going to throw a fastball and a curveball, and he's going to throw somewhere in the low to mid 80s, and he can get up there pretty good, and he's hoping to have a good outing here.
All right, leading things off is going to be EP Ernest Plummer, the shortstop for Illinois. Plummer coming in with some astronomical regional numbers. First pitch is up high for a ball. Roger Wolf calling the balls and strikes behind home plate. Michael Fiabani is down at first. And Jeff Maxey at second, Darren Duncan at third. And Jordan Duncan working very fast, Steve, like you used to in the bigs.
Yeah, that's what you want to do as pitcher, work fast, but you also want to come out and start throwing strikes early in the game too, but he's wanting that defense to play behind him.
Well, Plummer hitting .333 here in the World Series. 5'10", 165-pounder, .454 in the regionals, and that was the second best on his team. And Duncan loses Plummer to lead things off, and Illinois has a base run.
Yeah, that's not how you want to start, Mike. First 4 pitches of the game, balls, and walking the first guy.
All right, defensively, you see Pratt and Ebersold on the corners, Hancock and Martin on double play ball, Ott, Bridges, and Leichner. In the outfield, Isaac Hamilton behind the plate. Here's Dakota Broker, the second baseman. Comes in hitting .286 in Shelby. .463 led the team in the regionals. During the regular season, hit to 68 base hits. Nice breaking pitch, runners going. Here's the throw, and it's high, not in time. So Plummer takes off and gets a stolen base.
Yeah, it looked like a delayed steal, actually. The ball bounced, got away from the catcher a little bit, and he took off. Now they got a runner in scoring position.
This Illinois team, coached by Alan Shepard, they were 12 of 14 with stolen bases in the regionals. What did I say? Did I hear Evan Lepler say yesterday that the Idaho team had 260 stolen bases during the regular season?
It was
wow.
Something ridiculous.
That is
a number
crazy.
like that. Which we'll get to see them play later on tonight. And very good ball club.
Swinging a foul, tap back to the screen, and Dakota Broker 0 for 2. He was 0 for 3 in game 1 here, left 2 stranded. These good hitters hate to leave guys on bases. Then he came, bounced back with a 2 for 4 with a couple of RBIs and scored 3 times as Illinois climbed into the win column. There's a tap. This one's fouled down towards third.
Yeah, pretty much he's got 2 leadoff guys right here at number 1 and 2. Both these guys that lead off here early in the game can run.
So Shepard down there at third base, 18th season. But these guys were knocking on the door to get to the World Series 3 straight years. And as we talked about earlier, in this World Series, all 3 years they were eliminated by Steve Cronkite in the middle of Michigan. But here they are, they broke through this year. Hit .374 as a team in the regionals, and then they opened up against Louisiana, and they just weren't hitting the baseball, but they bounced back nicely with a victory against New Mexico. And Broker, it's not very often he's going to go down swinging. He didn't look comfortable in that swing, Steve.
No, he didn't. And Jordan Duncan, I tell you what, he rebounded after the first hitter. You can see that fastball that he threw right on the outside part of the plate, and there's nothing he could do with that.
So, runner down in scoring position with 1 out for Chase Rademacher. 5'10", 165-pounder out of catcher turned closer, closed the states, and then returned to close the regionals. Ground ball to Christian Hancock, deep in the hole. It's going to be a tough play, and not in time. So that's going to be infield single for Rademacher, and a good effort by Hancock. Did all he could, just didn't have enough time.
Yeah, I think that was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. He did a good job of even making a play on it. You see they're deep in the hole and coming up, and just beats it to first.
So Chase Vincent steps in now, the 5'11", 165-pounder, hitting from the left side, and Vincent played a really good first base up to this point. He's going to be on the hill for Illinois. So the pitcher has a chance to aid his own cause right now. His favorite book there, The Secret to Success. Well, right now, base hit might be a secret to his success.
As well, you know, he's a 4-year player for Coach Shepard.
4-year player, and Shepard said calls him a special player at that. Team leader. During the regular season, had 16 doubles and 3 homers, led the team in both categories. 42 ribbies, second best on the team. Almost was tempted. For some reason, those lefties, hard to stay off of that high fastball.
Yeah, they like to chase up and out of the zone.
1-2 pitch, and this one misses. And it's 2-2 with 1 out here. Game just underway. Missouri, Illinois, both at 1-1. Winner, as Steve pointed out, moves into Monday's semifinals. Losers pack it up and go home. Mentioned Danny Ream's Louisiana team. Right now, as a team, they're hitting .425. If that holds up, that's going to be a World Series record.
I didn't think it'd get any better. They started out the 93-92 last night.
There's a shot down with shortstop, and they're going to try to turn 2, and they do. So the old 6-4-3 double play, and Illinois leaves the runner stranded. We played a half inning, and Missouri coming to take their first swings.
Pitcher's best friend.
Got that right. Spoken from a former Major League pitcher. Back with the bottom of the first after this.
Okay. The $1 movers deal.
Well, I know it looks like a lot of stuff here, but between the 3 of you guys,
Or you could get a real deal. McDonald's buy one get one for $1 deal this year. Buy one of your faves and choose another for just an extra buck.
I switched to Miralax for my constipation. Stimulant laxatives forcefully stimulate the nerves in your colon. Miralax works with the water in your body to unblock your system naturally, and it doesn't cause bloating, cramping, gas, or sudden urgency. Miralax. Look for the pink app.
American Legion World Series, as part of Summer of Next, is brought to you by the American Legion, celebrating 100 years of service to our veterans. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Miralax. It works with the water in your body to unblock your system naturally. Well, we head for the bottom of the first. Who's on the hill now for Illinois?
We got Chase Vincent on the hill for Illinois, and he's going to throw a fastball change and a curve, and he's going to be somewhere low to mid-80s. And he's been hurt. He was hurt. He didn't come back till mid-July. He was 9-0 last year. He's only thrown 14 innings on the year, but is a very, very good pitcher.
You see the numbers on him. You know what the injury was he returned from? Or?
It was something with his arm, if I'm not mistaken, and you know, they took their time with him and let him get healthy, and he's come back and throwing the ball well.
I'll say this, he plays a really good first base for this Illinois team, and he's made some great plays in that opening game. Lost. As you take a look at J.B. Bridges getting ready to lead things off, he'll be out in center field, followed by the pitcher, Jordan Duncan, and Levi Ebersole will be at first base, and Colby Ott will hit cleanup this afternoon. Ott will open the game out in left field. So, out of the mix-off, out of Festus, Missouri. Head coach Zach Bowen saying the goal from day one is to get here to Shelby. And more after this first pitch. It's interesting how their states and the regionals, actually 2 teams advanced. And they were second both times, Woody. And He's told them before as they got here in Shelby, he said, hey, we can sit and pout about it and try to explain why we don't belong here, or we can just go out and prove that we belong here.
And they belong.
They certainly do. They opened up with a 4-1 win over New Mexico. Left 5 runners stranded, though, and then they lost to Louisiana 9-1. Again, leading to 5 stranded. Seems like every team, as you look at the stats and do your homework, it seems like they've left a lot of guys on bases, except for the New Mexico, who ran themselves out of the bases.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of base running blunders here already here in this World Series. It cost some teams some runs.
So Bridges in the regionals hit .313. Right now, just 200 here in the World Series. It's 1 for 6. Does have a couple of walks, and now he has 3 walks.
Well, both pitchers start off. First batter they face, both of them walk. Know what they want to do.
But as you pointed out, Jordan Duncan really settled down.
Yeah, he settled down quickly, and he ended up getting that double play to end that inning, as we saw.
Here's Jordan Duncan now. Lefty on lefty, inside for a ball. This all started last Thursday. 8 teams from different parts of the country converging onto Shelby, playing 3 games leading up to Monday's tomorrow's semifinals. There's a slow dribbler picked up. Nice play by the pitcher Chase Vincent. He gets the force out at second base. So defensive lineup now for Illinois is going to be Logan Spicer and Jake Stipp. On the corners, double play combination of E.P. Plummer and Dakota Broker. Left to right in the outfield, Lucas Hofer, Mason Ecker, Noah Ruck is out in right field. Chase Rademacher behind the plate, catching the left-hander Chase Vincent.
That was a great play by Chase there to get that guy, get the force at second. After walking the first guy, I think that was his only place he could go with the ball. That may have been the only place they were going to get out.
So Vincent ready to work against Levi Ebersold. Breaking pitch down to the dirt for ball 1. Ebersold, a member of the Jefferson High School basketball team, which won their conference and their districts. Opened up the World Series against New Mexico, going 1 for 3 with a walk. That 1 hit was a double. Then he went 0 for 3 in game number 2. Pitched an inning. No runs, no hits. Actually only threw 7 pitches, so he had a quick inning for Ebersold, who picked up a win in the regionals, but struggled offensively, hitting .067, just 1 for 15. So he's chomping at the bit to get things going.
Yeah, they were hoping he could get hot as they got here to the World Series. And he was taking their 3-0, and you better believe he's swinging here.
And he fouls it off, and the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Second game of the day, Massachusetts will take on North Dakota. Another important game, especially for North Dakota there, huh?
It is very, very important game. Got to wonder right here if Duncan's going to be on the go.
3-2 delivery. And this one lifted out to right field, and it's going to be problems. We're going to have runners on first and second. For a second there, Duncan tried to go for third, then thought twice about it. Just dropped right in front of Noah Ruck out there in right field.
Yeah, I thought he actually should have been on third. He like kind of held up as he got to the bag at second, but needless to say, they got runners on first and second here, and threatening here in the bottom of the first. And we can see that ball hit right inside the line there, and right fielder coming up and hitting the cutoff man, holding him at second.
So Colby Ox steps in for the first time. The left fielder, he's hit safely in both games for Missouri. And first pitch is in for a strike. He was 1 for 3, scored a run in the first game, and going 1 for 3 again. So he's hitting .333 in the World Series. Off-speed pitch there, swing and a miss, and Oviatt's behind in the count.
Yeah, that was a good breaking ball that just bounced right down in behind the plate and swung over the top of it.
Zach Bone describes Oviatt as a big-time player. Big-time player, has that humble jog back to the dugout. He's caught looking, and Vincent has his first strikeout in the second out of the inning.
Yeah, he's settling down here, and good breaking ball there. Come back over the plate. And we can see here, breaking ball coming, and knock over the outside part of the plate for a backwards K.
So a couple of outs. Here's Jake Leitner. More than capable of stepping up and coming through, hitting .400 in the World Series so far. Lefty on lefty, called strike. Leitner home from college to play his final season of Legion ball. Another young man that can also go to the hill. Leitner in his last appearance, throwing 5 shutout innings. Did so with a significant cut on his finger. And Zach Bone says when Leitner is on the hill, not one of his starting pitchers, but he can drive lefties crazy. Or he can give them fits. So Vincent settled down ahead of the count, 0-2, 2 outs, 2 runners on.
Paying attention to Duncan there in second, trying to make sure he kept him close. But let's see if he goes back to that breaking ball here, if he wants to try to go with a fastball somewhere out of the zone. Wow, right back to that breaking ball for strike 3.
Back-to-back strikeouts. Both guys not looking. We played 1 full. We go to the top of the second. It's still scoreless in Shelby between Illinois and Missouri.
Here's to the hill, where custom seating is the norm. The view of Lomedy, grand, and features the preeminent cardboard slide. Here's to the Little League World Series continuing through August 25th on the networks of ESPN.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John DeLorean. It is my pleasure to present to you the DeLorean motor car.
It's like science fiction or something.
It's the future.
One thing I've learned is that there is a deal to be made, always.
Don DeLorean, 30 million cocaine.
We bring him in, go free.
I will be remembered. My car will be remembered.
John, what are you doing?
You're moments away from being a very rich man.
Build this shelf. Build shelf.
Make me a latte.
Latte?
Too bad everything's not as easy as the dish voice remote.
What's the weather?
Oh well, tune to HGTV and show me Property Brothers.
Just say it and it's on with the voice remote from Dish, now with the Google Assistant.
Everything should be this easy.
Watch Property Brothers Wednesdays at 9 only on HGTV.
And you're watching the 2019 American Legion World Series on ESPNU. Shelby, North Carolina, the home of the American Legion World Series, where they do an outstanding job. Illinois, Missouri, the first of 3 games today, top of the second. It is scoreless as we take a look at Danville, Illinois' bio. Not too far from Champaign in the University of Illinois. And once home to Dick and Jerry Van Dyke. Jerry Van Dyke, of course, the fictitious coach at Minnesota State's.
Yes.
Dauber.
You're right, yes, it was.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great TV show.
And Eddie George went down to Orlando and they went to the pros, and Jerry Van Dyke just ate a bunch of chicken, and Eddie George had his Heisman Trophy, and Jerry Van Dyke dropped it on his foot. There's a good cut. Logan Spicer leading things off in the second inning. Spicer. Boy, what a season he's had. He hit .403 in the regular season with 58 base hits, .571 in the regionals, struggling right now in his third game. There's a slow breaking pitch by Jordan Duncan. It's in for a strike, and it's 1-2. So Spicer's gone from .571, trying to get things going. What he's hitting .25. Going into his third game here in Shelby.
Yeah, they were hoping he could stay hot like he was in the regional, and hoping he can get it back here today.
There's the 1-2 pitch. A breaking ball, a little bit late, leaves it up high for a ball. It's 2-2. Spicer graduated back in 2018 and heading into his sophomore season now at Danville Community College. He's got some power, went deep once in the regionals. This one is a shot, and it's going to be fouled down the right field line. And if that would have stayed fair, that would have at least been 2, possibly 3 as it goes deep into that right field corner. Last night we saw Stephen Klein go deep into that corner with the bases loaded.
Yeah.
Get a bases clearing triple. I like the black around the eyes. Well, another one caught looking. This time it's Logan Spicer, and this time it's Jordan Duncan doing the pitching.
Yeah, Jordan, he's second strikeout of the day. Just working fast and coming out of these guys, and you can see here where that fastball caught a little too much of the plate for strike 3.
So with one down, here's Lucas Hofer, the left fielder.
And you gotta love how fast he's working. He's getting the ball, he's on the mound, he's ready to go again. Ahead 0-2. You don't give that hitter much time to think, Mike, when you get, you work fast, you make him get back in the box.
Swing and a miss, and it's back-to-back strikeouts. 2 up and 2 down here in the second inning. Spicer caught looking, and Hofer goes down swinging.
Yeah, and that's his third strikeout of the day, and instead of using the fastball like he did on the last hitter, we see his breaking ball here on the outside part of the plate for a swing and a miss.
Off to a great start. Your research, is he a strikeout pitcher?
He gets swings and misses with his breaking ball, and if you can locate that fastball, you can get swings and misses with that fastball.
Here's Jacob Stipp. Opening up the day at first base for Illinois. There's a swing, and it's a shallow fly ball, but the second baseman, Eddie Martin, is back and hit his glove. And it's going to be interesting to see if they give him an error. Not to give him a base hit. I agree with that. That was a tough play.
Yeah, we see him going back here. It looked like he just missed it off the tip of his glove there, running backwards. That's a tough play.
Interesting story here. Here's Noah Ruck playing right field, getting a start for Alan Shepard.
Yeah, Noah, I went down, I talked to Coach Shepard right before the game, and Noah didn't play a lot during the regular season and regionals, but he said he does everything they ever ask of him, and he wanted to put him in the lineup today. Thought he'd be a boost to the lineup.
It took a good cut on that last pitch. It's 1-1 with 2 down here in the second inning.
He for sure swings hard.
Well, you talk about Jordan Duncan opening up the game with a base on balls. It seems like he's been way ahead in the count for most hitters since then.
Yeah, after that first hitter, he seems to settle in.
As soon as I say that, now he's down at 3-1 in the count to Noah Ruck.
And you can see Jordan's comparison there, 12 balls and 22 strikes for a total of 34 pitches. Should have looked like the catcher went out and made him chuckle, made him laugh a little bit. Relaxing.
Did that used to work for you? Or just say, hey, get out of here? Focused.
Oh, I needed a good laugh. Sometimes you can be too serious.
That one went by. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 runner on. Still scoreless here in Shelby in the top of the 2nd inning. So Duncan ready to go back to work. The runner's moving. Here's a slow bouncer to second base, picked up by Martin, and he almost threw it away. Almost pulled a Steve Sachs there, but we're out of the inning. So we head for the bottom of the 2nd inning, and we're still scoreless between Illinois and Missouri.
We trust USA more than any other company out there. They give us excellent customer service every time.
Our 18-year-old was in an accident. USA took care of her car rental and getting her car towed. All I had to take care of was making sure that my daughter was okay.
If I met another veteran and they were with another insurance company, I would tell them, you need to join USAA because they have better rates and better service.
We're the Gomez family.
We're the Rivera family.
We are the Kirby family, and we are USAA members for life.
Get your auto insurance quote today.
Life and health go hand in hand, arm in arm, side by side. That's why every month nearly 1 million people choose Atrium Health for nationally recognized heart, cancer, pediatric care, and more. You deserve to climb that mountain, to dance that dance, to hear that news. Because living your best life starts with having your best health. And our experts make it possible.
And welcome back to Keeter Stadium in Shelby. Still scoreless. Illinois with a couple of base hits, Missouri with 1. And you take a look at this team from Missouri, Festus, Missouri. Look at the bottom of that graphic there, Woody. City was originally called Tanglefoot.
Yeah, and Ryan, our stat manager, that's his nickname also, Tanglefoot.
I like the name of the city, that Festus and neighbor, Crystal City. Sounds like fictitious names in a movie or something, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's cool.
Festus back here, they were here in 2009, but they were the first Missouri program back in 2009, and since Crestwood, Missouri was here in 1980.
And I know the director here, Gary Stone of the American Legion that handles the tournament, is from Missouri.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There's Eddie Martin, of course. Gene Stevenson played at Missouri. Went on a football scholarship, wound up becoming an All-American baseball player there before getting into coaching. This one's fall back to the screen. It's 1-1 on Eddie Martin. He's 1 for 4 in the tournament. Just graduated from Festus before heading out to college. Shot down the right field line, out of play, and it's 1-2.
You know, both pitchers have settled in nicely now, and, you know, starting to get ahead in the count, throwing strike 1 and going right after these guys.
So Zach Bone saying that this guy's the glue. It's been a game changer. A lot of instances during the regular season and postseason. Feels like you can put him anywhere. Defensively, he's solid. It's funny, you think that if you're a good ball player, you can play anywhere, but that's not the case. I mean, some guys that play the infield, you get so comfortable that you don't get a good jump on the ball playing the outfield.
And you can see there Chase using his breaking ball there to come back over the plate for strike 3, and we'll see it right there. He's used it several times today to get guys looking.
Well, Vincent, that's his 3rd strikeout now. Struck out 2 the last inning. Here's a Chuck Kratz, high bouncer to Plummer. Plummer can't get the ball in his glove.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he tried to get in a hurry there to think he was going down the line pretty quick, but just kind of popped out of his glove, and that'll go down as a E6.
And with 1 down, it puts a runner on for Missouri. Here's Isaac Hamilton, the catcher, stepping in. Thanks for keeping me on my toes there and covering it. I looked down at my score sheet. I didn't realize that that was strike 3 on Martin. Because Vincent struck out 2 of the 3 outs back in the 1st inning. There's a drive. The center field should be played by Mason Eckert. Eckert moves to his right and pulls it in. There's 2 down. As we head for the bottom of the order now with Christian Hancock, the shortstop, getting ready to take his first swings. No, Zach Bone said one of the better bats in this lineup. It's amazing how baseball can be an unforgiving game. One of the better bats. He was 0 for 4 in the regionals, so not a lot of at-bats. And he was 0 for 3 in the first game here, then 0 for 2. So he's 0 for his last 9, I guess that would make it.
Over last night, but he actually had, you know, the game-winning sac fly on that Sunday to help get them here, which don't go down in the books as anything, but don't show up, but did his job and helped his team win.
Well, that'll go down as the game-winning RBI.
Game-winning RBI, I guess.
So it does go down for
It
some.
goes, yeah, but it just don't show up in the 0 for.
I understand what you're saying.
So that 0 for 9 is not so bad.
Well, my point being, especially when what the coach says he's one of the better backs in the lineup, I mean, this is a great game when you're hitting the ball, and they'll drive you crazy. And sometimes when you're 0 for, doesn't mean you're not hitting the ball, but sometimes you're hitting the ball right at somebody.
Yeah. And you know how many in the 9-hole already in this World Series, how many good 9-hole hitters that flip the order and get it right back to the top?
Just what every team we've seen, it seems like. 3-1 pitch right now, up high, and they're going to have runners on first and second. Christian Hancock pulls the base on balls, and Pratt's going to move on down to second base. So Pratt gets on with a E6. Hancock is walked, and they go to the top of the order with J.B. Bridges.
Yeah, I know what you want to do there, and flipping it back to the top of the order.
Well, he tied him up on that pitch.
Yeah, there you see that breaking ball that it's a good breaking ball right in front of the plate and bounced. And
so Bridges coming off a big week, scored 3 times in the finals of the regionals, had a pair of base hits in that finals, 2 on Friday, including the game winner. The breaking ball by Vincent. Doesn't break much, just enough to get across that plate.
And he's ahead 0-2. You got to wonder what he's going to go back to right here after throwing 2 consecutive breaking balls. That was a good pitch there, changing eye level. Now I'm betting he goes back to that breaking ball. What do you think, Mike?
Well, you're the pitcher. You say you're 99% correct 99% of the time. So
he's going to that breaking ball here.
Okay.
Let's see. Yep, there we go.
I got to take my hat off to Bridges, though. That 0-2 pitch, it was high, but staying off of that is, when you're down 2 strikes,
yeah,
that's very difficult to do.
We've seen a lot of lefties chasing that here.
This one's fouled just outside the bag. And the count remains 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on here in the bottom half of number 2. Missouri showed up with a 4-1 victory against New Mexico. Then they were drilled by Louisiana. Louisiana, at this juncture, probably the most impressive hitting team, at least. To mention the fact they're hitting .425 as a team. They've got the day off, and of course that 3-0 record, they're waiting for the semifinals on Monday.
And talking about these 2 teams, this Illinois team and Missouri team, I think they're they're pretty equal. Looking at it on paper. And if you don't play it on paper, but they're pretty familiar with each other.
I'm glad you brought that up. I didn't realize they'd seen each other already, coming from 2 different states. Michael Fiabani down at first base. Roger Wolf deferring down to first. It's 2-2 now. 2 outs here in inning number 2. Another player caught looking. 4th strikeout for the lefty, Chase Vincent. Missouri leaves 2 stranded till we play 2 full. We go to the top of the 3rd. We're still scoreless here between Illinois and Missouri.
Join us in Kings Mountain, North Carolina for Beach Blast. 20 years, a Southern music tradition. From the sands of the Grand Strand of South Carolina to the cool green Kings Range of Western North Carolina, Beach Blast brings the music to dance the day away with some of the South's top beach bands, featuring the Band of Oz, the Embers, and more. All the activities at this family-friendly event. August 24th, Beach Blast in Kings Mountain, North Carolina. It's something to write home about.
All the parts that you need to keep her on the go. For work, for school, everywhere you go. But sometimes they can be hard to find. Rock Auto's got the parts for whatever you drive. If you want that work truck, you just save some big bucks. All the parts you're looking for delivered to your front door. All the parts your car will ever need. Rock Auto. All the parts your car will ever need. Rock Auto.
When I'm on the field, I feel at home, especially when I'm watching college and pro football with Dish. With games on every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, ending with Monday Night Football on ESPN. That's a lot of football. And Dish made it easy to find the games you're looking for with the Game Finder app. Game Finder. If only I could check on all the stats.
With Dish, watch tons of college and pro football on ESPN.
Once again this year, special Sunday night baseball game for you tonight. MLB Little League Classic from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Cubs Pirates at historic Bowman Field. Coverage begins at 5:30 Eastern with baseball tonight. Sunday night countdown on ESPN and the ESPN app. Bowman Field, of course, the second oldest minor league ballpark in the United States, built back in 1926. There's a swing and a miss as Mason Ecker, the center fielder, leads things off in the top of the 3rd for Illinois. Talk about Illinois during the regionals, hitting .374. They had 98 total bases in 6 games. Then they showed up here against Louisiana. Just 3 base hits in that opening game. It's got to drive head coaches crazy.
Yes.
The amazing thing is you never know on a good hitting team the bats could go cold. We've seen that with a couple of teams. But of course Illinois bouncing back to win second game, and if they win this game, they move on to the semifinals.
Yeah, they're in the semis.
And the same can be said for Missouri. So this ball game, great way to open up our triple header today. Winner take all. There's a shot out to right field. Nice piece of hitting there by Mason Ecker. So Missouri once again has a base runner.
Yeah, they got the leadoff guy on here. Just a fastball that up, belt high, stayed on it, drove it into right field.
So here's Plummer now, the leadoff man. He walked in his first at bat and stole second. This one's outside for a ball. Boy, in the regionals, he had a couple of doubles and a couple of triples. Enjoyed the regionals with a .615 on-base percentage. There's a... That is a tough way to try to lay down a bunt. Right back to Duncan. Duncan turns and fires over to Ebersol, and another double play.
Yeah, great job by Duncan to get that ball quickly out of his glove in the first. I didn't think they had a chance to get him, but they doubled him off. And you see here, Jordan got it, and he got rid of it quick, and 2 outs.
And then he races the runner at first base. Nobody on now for Coda Broker, the second baseman, who struck out back in the first.
Mike, after getting those 2 outs right there real quick now, and he's falling behind 3-0.
3 quick pitches, as you pointed to. I mean,
he works fast.
4 straight pitches. Broker's down with a walk. So Rademacher comes in now. He's single back in the first base. First inning, I should say. That was his first hit of the World Series after going 0 for 3 and 0 for 2 with an RBI in the first 2 games. It's a bouncer to Pratt. Pratt picks it up and fires it across the diamond. Nice stretch by Levi Eversole. And it's a fairly quick inning for Jordan Duncan. Let's go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. See if Missouri can get something going.
MLS Heineken Rivalry Week is on. Say it loud. Rivalries run high. Get set for MLS Heineken Rivalry Week. Thursday on ESPN.
This week, it's do or die.
PGA Tour's FedEx Cup playoffs going on. We have whittled down to the top 70. That is all that remains.
There's one #1 story today in sports.
Who amongst us has what it takes? Who will make it to the final chapter? And who won't? The FedEx Cup playoffs continue at the BMW Championship. For the PGA Tour's ultimate prize.
10 years ago, I had an undiagnosed heart condition, and erectile dysfunction was actually the first sign that something was wrong.
Luckily, I'm a doctor, an expert in sexual health, and Zach's that.
Not everyone has a doctor in the house, and some health conditions can be really tough to talk about. We started Roman to change that.
Now you can go online and chat with a physician.
And if treatment is right for you, we'll ship genuine medication right to your door. If you're experiencing ED, hair loss, cold sores, or other issues, let's take care of it.
You're watching the American Legion World Series as part of Summer of Next, presented by Geico. And there's the schedule today, and it's a good one. Of course, we mentioned Illinois, Missouri. Winter goes on. North Dakota trying to get there. They take on Massachusetts. North Dakota's 1-1. Massachusetts 0-2. Massachusetts making their second trip in 3 years here. Then, of course, Idaho, North Carolina. North Carolina getting beat last night, so they're 1-1. Idaho, you know, you would think they're already in, but they need the victory or want the victory to be in the driver's seat over there.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just kind of waiting on North Dakota. If North Dakota wins, North Dakota's going to be in, and then if North Dakota loses, North Carolina wins, then, you know, it kind of throws a wrinkle into everything. So that'll be a fun rest of the day here.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
Seems like every team has enough pitching to make it exciting anyway. And North Carolina team playing at 1-1 here at night. This place will be full. Maybe good chance they'll have some standing room only. Here's Jordan Duncan, the pitcher now. Pitching for the second time in the World Series. That first game, he went 1 for 4 and actually threw 1 inning, threw 10 pitches, no runs, no hits, struck out a couple. Then he DH'd in the second game, went 0 for 1 with a walk. So officially, he's 1 for 5. Two for 6 actually, because he singled back in the first inning here in this ball game.
Gotta love the eye black on him.
Yeah, I really like. Almost looks like 2 sevens on his face.
Yeah, I've never seen. You know, you very rarely ever see a pitcher, you know, wear eye black.
And the way he's wearing it, you might see a football player, defensive player, wear some eye black like that. Getting creative. And Duncan's on for the second time, this time with a walk. So Duncan singled his last at bat. Eversole, Levi Eversole also singled. He's 1 for 1. He's getting ready to step in for the second time. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I mean, maybe out on the hill. See Duncan there at first base, pulled out something. And
well, he was looking. They use a number system there to.
Nice sacrifice bunt laid down by Eversole and pushes the runner Duncan back up to second base.
Yeah, just a good job of getting that bunt down and moving the runner over in a scoring position. Now let's see if they can get him in.
So go back and tell me now, Duncan was looking at his notes there, the number system.
Number system, there's a card that tells you, hey, we're bunting. This number, you may call out a number, and you look at it, it says bunt.
So he's making sure you didn't miss the call.
Yeah, and you can't miss it unless you can't, can't understand the number and be able to read it, but that's why coaches do it now a lot of times, just so signs are not missed and everybody's on the same page.
And I got it. We used to go by signs back in our day, and if you missed it, you heard about it.
Oh, yeah.
Here's Colby Ott with a man on second. Nice swing and a miss, and it's 0-2 on Colby Ott, who struck out in his first at-bat. So Duncan and Vincent both getting ahead. On the batters, Vincent steps off the hill. Boy, weather's been fantastic. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this without jinxing everybody.
Please don't say this.
Don't say it?
Please don't.
Okay.
We read it on the sheet, so let's not.
Swing and a miss, and there's another strikeout. So Ott's a very, very talented hitter. Strikes out for the second time.
Yeah, just another, Chase got ahead, and this is fifth strikeout of the day, and went right back to that breaking ball that was down out of the zone and getting these guys to chase that pitch.
So 2 down, it's the guy at second base. Mention the fact that Missouri left 5 stranded in both games, so they're averaging 10 stranded. Here's Jake Leitner. Also struck out in his first at bat. And he came in hitting 400 in the first 2 games.
And you can see there, Mike, how Chase has got his outs. 1 fly out, 2 ground outs, and then we just talked about the strikeouts and using that breaking ball.
You told me not to read this, but
yeah, you can. Everybody will want to know what we're talking about. They think we're like hiding a big secret or something. But
I was going to
go
say
ahead. It's on the paper for everybody to read.
It's been hot, but it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. If we have a rain-free day,
they may kill you in the booth.
It's going to be the first time in 3 years that the American Legion World Series has not experienced delays or suspended games.
Oh,
so you can't be superstitious now. It's not like I said. I just thought it was interesting.
It is.
Looking at a lot of white clouds out there, but I don't think I'm going to get burned by mentioning that.
Yeah, I guess we'll see about 10 o'clock tonight where we're at.
It's not like I said, here we are at the top of the ninth inning, a pitcher with a no-hitter. Well, that off-speed pitch, huh?
Yeah, he's going right back to it, man. He's, even when he got behind, he went to the off-speed pitch. So. Pretty much, I bet he's going right back to that breaking ball.
2-2 pitch, 2 outs. Here in the last half of the 3rd inning. And this one misses, so it goes 3-2.
And he don't have to be perfect with his next pitch. First base is open. We got 2 outs. And you sure don't want to give in right here and just leave one right over the plate.
Nice pitch, beautiful pitch, 6 strikeouts, and again, one of the Missouri players left standing on the side of the road.
Good fastball, right down the middle. Strike 3.
Hear the waves?
It's the first that stay with us. They make our hearts race, our eyes widen, our hands sweat. The lines of our smiles deepen in our cheeks. The magic of experiencing something for the very first time never gets old. Come, experience firsts that last in North Carolina.
5 important facts. 1, crude oil is crude. 2, natural gas is pure. 3, Pennzoil is the first motor oil made from natural gas, not crude. 4, it gives you unbeatable engine protection. And 5, you can't beat that. The proof is in the Pennzoil. Available at AutoZone and AutoZone.com.
Well, we're back. A pitcher's duel here. We played 3 fulls. We go to the top of the 4th of the 7-inning game. Still scoreless between Illinois and Missouri.
Yeah, I mean, this, has been a pitcher's duel, to this point. I mean, both these guys have 6 strikeouts, 5 strikeouts. And, both guys are keeping these guys from scoring. They've had runners in scoring position, but they failed to get anybody across. And you can see here the Missouri team, it's called the Fox in the Hole Player of the Day, and the only way that they can get that is by if they win a game. And at the beginning of the year, the coaches give it out to a player, and then from then on, every win, the player gives it to the next player. And they got this helmet, at a surplus store, Army surplus store, and then they threw the chain over there with it. And his dad actually would come up with, Coach Bone, his dad actually come up with something years ago, and it's about, the Fox in the Hole, just having each other's back and being there for each other and doing the little things and supporting each other, and don't necessarily go to the MVP of the game, but somebody that does the little thing.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
I wonder where that helmet was or where it came from and who wore it.
I know, it's a pretty neat history.
You mentioned Zach Bone's dad. He was the head coach of this program for 21 years, and his grandpa was the coach before that, so it's a family affair. Zach in his 15th year now, his 8th as the head coach. Pitcher on pitcher, and Vincent Lines went out to center field, and Jordan Duncan says thanks to J.B. Bridges. Nice defensive effort up there.
Yeah, it was. He smoked the ball, and it was just, we've seen some great defensive plays by all of our center fielders here this week, but leaving his feet and saving him from a double.
There's Logan Spicer, who struck out in his first inning at bat. Breaking pitch. Looks like Spicer's going to try to bunt for a single. Missouri 5 left on base so far. Illinois with 3. Ooh, tough one. Hancock played it well. Fires over to Ebersole.
Yeah. I think Hancock got caught in between, didn't know what to do, either back up or come get it, and got in between hop. And we can see here as that ball got right there to him, it was in between hop, and was able to stay with it and make a great play.
Well, I guess so. It's the old saying that play the ball, don't let the ball play you.
Yeah,
he certainly did that. There's Lucas Hofer now, the left fielder. He also struck out in his only at bat. And he also goes right back to Christian Hancock. And Hancock thought he caught it. The umpire says he's out. And I think Hofer thought it hit the dirt. I thought he scooped it up with a backhand on a 1 bounce. Well, apparently the third base coach, or said no.
Well, third base umpire is saying out, and the home plate umpire is saying safe.
Really? So, interesting. Okay, here's a look at it. Ooh, I think it hit the dirt, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, still scoreless.
In Kings Mountain, you will discover a wide variety of family fun activities. You can stroll our downtown historic district, see history come alive at a Revolutionary War battle reenactment at Patriots Park, or take a scenic walk on the Gateway Trail and enjoy the unique overviews of the Kings Mountain Range. Come visit and take a trip back in time to witness our rich history. Historic Kings Mountain, North Carolina. It's revolutionary.
It's too late for me. It's 8 p.m. on a Saturday. We gotta go. The guys are waiting. Come on. Here. Old Spice.
Wait. Bring back potato skins.
The $1 stylist deal.
Nice to meet you.
Perfect.
What?
Or you could get a real deal. McDonald's, buy one, get one for $1 deal this year. Buy one of your faves and choose another for just an extra $1.
Sports fans are gearing up at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
American Legion World Series as part of Summer of Next. It's brought to you by Atrium Health. Well, I'll tell you, Chase Vincent, he's really former first baseman or usual first baseman, really gotten to work nicely here.
Yeah, he's used that breaking ball, and you can see, you know, strike three several different times, making these hitters look, and you know, man, he's done everything to keep his team in this game, and both of them have zeros on the board.
Now, I say that, I guess I should clarify. Now, as you pointed out earlier, last year, I guess he was undefeated, right, in the regular season?
Yeah, he was undefeated. He was 9-0 on the year.
This is going to be trouble. Down in the right field corner. Noah Ruck is going to have to dig this one out. It's going to be a stand-up double for Eddie Martin to lead things off here in the fourth inning.
Mike, you said down in that right field corner is tough to get it back in real quick, but he did a good job of getting that ball back in and keeping it to a double.
So Martin, who hit 385 in the regionals, they said he's a game changer. Well, it's a lot of goose eggs, a lot of zeros out on that scoreboard right now.
Yeah, you see that fastball down the right, him taking it right down the right field line, but like we said, great job of getting it back in quick.
There's Charlie Pratt, goes by the name of Chuck, actually. Chuck Pratt, nice breaking pitch in, but it misses for a ball, didn't miss by much.
And you got to wonder, are they going to try to bunt? They got to get him to third base somewhere or another. But they're trusting him enough to try to hit that ball to the right side.
Pratt struggled in the regional, sitting 167, third year on the team. Comes through the base hit, and I don't think it's going to score one. Hit hard out to left field. Hofer's all over it, and runners on the corners now with nobody back.
Yeah, let's just forget hitting that ball to the right side, and let's just hit a base hit to left field. And he did just that. They trusted him enough to swing and took that fastball into left field for a base hit.
So Isaac Hamilton, who's hitting 400 coming in, he was 2 for 3 in the first game with an RBI after going 0 for 2 in game 2. Steps in with runners on the corners. Game's first run down there at potentially down at third base. Hamilton working behind the plate for Zach Bone here this afternoon.
And you got to look at the defensive placement here. The middle infield's playing back for double play, and the corners are going to be in.
Scoreless ball game. Zach Bone saying that they've had a ton of close games. No strangers to tight ball games. They beat a really good Arkansas team 2-1. That was scoreless in the 7th with Nebraska. Nebraska had bases loaded in the 7th. Levi Ebersold got behind a 3-0, then threw 3 straight strikes to get out of the jam. They wound up winning that game. Right now with nobody out.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, you got to wonder, what are they going to do? Are they going to possibly squeeze? What are they going to run a play, get the runner to lead off and go? Or good pitch there by Chase Vincent.
Favorite book, Where the Red Fern Grows. It's an older classic, isn't it?
It is.
It's good to see them listing their good books instead of all just these video games.
Exactly. And falling behind 3-1, Mike. I mean, this is going to be a big pitch. His biggest pitch in the game so far.
Loads the bases if he loses them here with a walk. Here's a 3-1 pitch coming from Vincent. And it's 3-2. So you got the count to full. When he come back with a pitch here, what's the pitch?
I mean, we've seen him throw his breaking ball at all, you know, any time in the count. And, you know, I would guess he would go with that breaking ball. You know, as confident he is in it. Now you got to wonder if the runner on first is going to be in motion and try to get something going. That's what they were thinking.
Well, he's got a lot of several of these Missouri players looking on called third strikes. He's got 6 strikeouts in the ball game, and this one's fouled back. Not enough time for Rademacher to turn and run that one down. So the count remains 3 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody down, 2 runners on. First and third for Missouri.
Now you got to wonder, he just threw that breaking ball there, full count, fouled it off.
Lost him. Threw the high, hard one, and the bases are juiced. So the bases are loaded for Christian Hancock as Illinois wants to have a little talk out on the hill.
He just gave him a little breather, and he's throwing the ball well up to this point.
Well, you glance out at that scoreboard, huh? I mean, you're used to watching Louisiana hit 425 as a team and scored 10, 11, 12 runs. A lot of zeros out there at that scoreboard.
Yeah, 0-3-1 and 0-3-0, and a lot of goose eggs.
Yeah, Vincent's settled down, and he goes to work now with the bases loaded. The number 9 hitter, Christian Hancock. Hancock squares around with the bases juice, called strike.
Yeah, they just, right now, do anything to get a run in. And so you see the infield's playing in. They're wanting to, keep that runner from scoring.
Called ball.
Yeah. Just a little up.
I respect those guys staying off. I'd be chasing that one. It didn't look too far from the strike zone. That one's in for a strike.
And he's got to hit 1 or 2. And like we've talked as a pitcher, technically with that runner on third base, less than 2 outs, is about the only time you really look for that strikeout. And better believe he's probably coming back to that breaking ball.
Ball tapped, still 1 and 2, and law of averages, bases loaded. I mean, both pitchers getting out of a little jam early in the ball game, but you would think with nobody down, bases loaded, that Missouri's going to push something across here.
Yeah, you'd think, but we've seen so many teams here in this World Series that have left runners on base.
And check swing. Hancock protects that plate on 2 strikes, and it's still 1 and 2.
The catcher asked him to step off. They went to touches there. The catcher went to touches, and what I mean, touching the mask, the knee, to give the sign, so that hopefully the base runner don't give the sign up.
Two and 2. He had a pitch to waste, but he wasn't wasting that one. He went after the hitter with that pitch.
Yeah, he wanted to get him right there.
Now the 1-2 count down full at 3 balls, 2 strikes, bases loaded. Now the pressure's on the pitcher. Nobody down.
Yeah, nowhere to put him, and you got to come right at him.
See if he throws that breaking pitch down, 3-2 count with nobody down. There it is. Missed him, and he forced in the game's first run. It's Hancock. It's the walk and the RBI.
Yeah, good job from Hancock of laying off of that and not chasing that. And, you know, Chase felt comfortable enough to go with the breaking ball full count, but just couldn't get it down in the zone.
And now he's got to face the top of the order with nobody down. Base is still full. Here's J.B. Bridges, the center fielder, leading things off the ball game at the #1 spot. Jumps on that first pitch and fouls it off.
Yeah, and he's thrown, you know, he's thrown 10 balls, 10 strikes now, and 20 pitches this inning, so the pitches starting to get up this inning.
And he's ahead in the count again. 0-2.
You know, he was ahead last hitter and ended up losing him.
Another one caught looking. That's the second time J.B. Bridges, a very talented hitter, strikes out of the ball game. So he's 0 for 2 with a walk, and that's the first out. And here's Jordan Duncan with a chance to...
Yeah, that was a big strikeout there, and you can see him going right back to that breaking ball. And if I'm not mistaken, 7th strikeout of the day, but the 5th one looking.
Uh-oh. That'll go down as a wild pitch. So they forced one in with a walk, and now a wild pitch. We have a 2-0 ball game.
Not really sure what happened on that one, but threw behind his head, over his head.
So 2 runs in, and runners on second and third with 1 down for Duncan. Fouls that one off, and it's 1-1. Duncan, we should point out, the MVP of the regional too, after hitting .368. Couple of doubles. At multi-hit games in regionals, every game but one. Here he goes the opposite way, and Ofer's there. Here's the runner, the tag, the throw. It's not going to be in time. The cutoff, and we've got a 3-0 ball game, and the runner hung up between second and third. So they get the outs, but the run scores, and Missouri pushes 3 across in their half of the 4th inning. We head for the 5th inning instead of a scoreless game. Now Illinois in a 3-0 hole. Here comes Illinois to lead things off from the 5th.
Hear the waves? It's the first that stay with us. They make our hearts race, our eyes widen, our hands sweat. The lines of our smiles deepen in our cheeks. The magic of experiencing something for the very first time never gets old. Come, experience firsts that last in North Carolina.
Sick and wounded members of the U.S. Armed Forces across America and around the world need to know there's more to recovery than hospitals, transition units, doctors, nurses, and medicine. That's where the American Legion's Operation Comfort Warriors program comes in. The American Legion raises funds to purchase adaptive sports equipment, video games, event tickets, and more for those recovering in military hospitals and transition programs. Learn more at legion.org/programs.
Well, Tuesday night at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, we'll have the American lead. East leading the Yankees taking on the A's, who are in the thick of the AL wildcard chase. First of a 3-game set, first of back-to-back games we'll have on ESPN and the ESPN app. Domingo Germán, who leads the majors with 16 victories right now, gets a start for the Yankees, so good chance to see him Tuesday, 10 o'clock out on the West Coast.
Look at that dance there, Mike. He's a good actor.
Remember, that was huge so many years ago.
Yeah. I love the hat.
That's
a great hat and the sunglasses.
You're a glass half full type of guy.
Yeah. No, they do that. They have fun here in Shelby and do a good job. Good place to watch a baseball game. You can tan, you can do anything.
Well, it's going to be Jake Stipp and Noah Ruck and Mason Ecker, the 7, 8, 9 hitters coming up here in the Top of the fifth inning, trying to erase that 3-0 deficit right now. Soaking in some sun here at Keeter Stadium. A lot of empty seats out there in the heat right now, but later in the afternoon, these seats will be full.
Yes, they will.
It'll sound like a broken record. They do such a fantastic job. This is a great ballpark, a great little city. The people really back this American Legion World Series. It's a good reason why they decide to keep it here every year. So now Jordan Duncan goes out there with a 3-0 lead. Breathe a little bit easier out there as a pitcher, as you can attest to, I'm sure.
Yes. Now his job is to come up, get them back in the dugout as quick as he can, and put a 0 up.
Still tries to lay one down and bunts for a base hit. He singled back in the second inning. So after going 0 for 3 in the first game, he came back. He was 1 for 1 with 3 walks, and that one hit was a home run. So he drove home 3 in Illinois' second game victory. Nice swing, lifts this one up to the gap. It could be some trouble. Wow, did he catch that? Wow. Jake Leitner out right field just extended. And I thought it was going to drop in for a base hit.
I didn't think there was no way possible he was going to be able to get to that ball.
Wow, that might have been the defensive gem so far here in the World Series.
And you can see it like it's just going to fall in, and Jake comes flying from out of nowhere. And absolutely, that is a Sports Center top 10 nominee there.
That's a thing of beauty right there. So here's Noah Ruck with 1 down.
Ooh, wow. Yes,
nice.
He did.
And he was flying. As Emily, our producer, said he Superman did. He looked like Superman flying.
Oh, and he actually got some a grass burn on his arm, bleeding a little bit. Looks like.
But he's thinking it was worth it.
It was worth it.
Hey, a little bit.
I'll do anything. Top 10 nominee there. Don't matter how bad it hurts.
Hey, it's grass. It's better than turf, right? Noah Ruck walks that one down. Beautiful breaking ball. Slow breaking pitch. Another strikeout for Jordan Duncan.
Yeah, that's Jordan Schwartz's strikeout of the day. And, you know, both these pitchers have been, all these strikeouts, it seems like, are looking.
So the number 9 hitter and the center fielder Mason Eckert, who singled back in the third inning, taking his second swings against Jordan Duncan. Eckert coming into the game, he had even 500 in the World Series. Granted, only the third game, but they say if you can hit 300, you're doing pretty doggone good. 500. You can sleep well if you're hitting 500.
Yes, you can.
Now, I do say that in all fairness, he did walk a couple of times in the last game, so officially he's only batted really 3 times coming into the ball game. 4 times after picking up a single in the third inning. He was 0 for 1 with a walk, then 1 for 1 with 2 walks, and now he's looking for a second base hit. And the count is even at 2-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. First of 3 games. As we head down the home stretch. Nice piece of hitting if it stays fair, and it goes foul down the left field line. Mentioned the home stretch. Missouri, Illinois playing in this game. The winner moves on to the semifinals. So coming up in the second game, it's going to be North Dakota at 1-1 against Massachusetts. I'm going to paint you into a corner here. Massachusetts is 0 for 2, but if they should win that game, do they have any shot at all?
I don't think so, since the matchups.
I'm glad you figured that out, because I always hate to say, hey, they don't have a shot, and all of a sudden you find out.
Well, then you do, I won't sit here and think about everything, but North Carolina and Mass, North Carolina beat Mass, so it'd be North Carolina did lose, it'd be a three-way tie.
Well, Woody, how about another player standing by the road there? Well, I don't know how many players we've seen taking third strike.
Yeah, good fastball there, inside corner, looking again, and what a great play right here by our right fielder.
That's Jake Leitner out there, and that is the defensive gem of the day so far. 3-0 as we head for the 6th.
Here's to the Little League Classic. MLB All-Stars performing at peak level and inspiring young stars. The Little League Classic, Cubs Pirates, tonight at 7 on ESPN.
This week, it's do or die.
PGA Tour's FedEx Cup playoffs going on. We have whittled down to the top 70. That is all that remains.
There's one #1 story today in sports.
Who amongst us has what it takes? Who will make it to the final chapter? And who won't? The FedEx Cup playoffs continue at the BMW Championship for the PGA Tour's ultimate prize.
We have got the perfect scenario.
World Fishing Network.
Included in the outdoor pack. Order today.
You're watching the 2019 American Legion World Series on ESPNU here from Keeter Stadium in Shelby, North Carolina. Here's what's coming up. Monday and Tuesday, the semifinals and, of course, the championship game. Louisiana already in. Of course, Idaho will play the third game here this afternoon. They're already in as well, but will they be the winner or the runner-up as they take on North Carolina? North Carolina needs the win to get in. So Vincent stays in the ballgame, trailing 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Boy, the strikeout looking, just players looking, not just striking out. Players looking, 9 here today so far.
9 here today, and I think Chase Vincent's had 6, and Jordan Duncan's had 3.
And of course, so much being said about protecting the plate on 2 strikes.
No,
I guess that's the credit goes to the pitcher.
Yeah, and both of them are actually on that breaking ball. Jordan did on that last batter fastball, but most of the time it's been the breaking ball looking.
Levi Ebersol hitting for the 3rd time here today. He singled back in the 1st, sack bunt in the 3rd. 2 balls and 1 strike. Vincent ready to go to work. Ooh. Well, Ebersol gets on in the 5th inning here with the, what do you think, the easy way or the tough way?
That's according to how you look at it. Well, it has to be the tough way, but see where that ball, fastball inside. And I don't know how many guys we've seen this week get hit on the knee.
Well, it's on first base. We were talking with Ryan Alexander, the Idaho head coach, saying, hey, first 90 feet, if we can get a guy on first base, we will find a way to get him in.
Yes.
He said we can get 5 runs on 2 hits sometimes and pick up the W. We need base runners.
And you're going to hear the third base coach, Drew Hoyle, hollering out 5-3, and they're looking at their band, so whatever 5-3 is, which didn't mean anything.
Boy, Colby Ott, he came in hitting safely in both of their games for Missouri. He's 0 for 2 right now with a couple of strikeouts, so Vincent's had his numbers so far. And he's ahead in the count 1-2. Colby Otts. Zach Bowen said this young man excelled in 3 sports: a running back in football, a guard in basketball, and of course in baseball. Equally as good in each sport. And came in hitting 333. Well, that's his 3rd strikeout. So 3 Ks in the books now. That'll drive a batter crazy when the pitcher has your number. It's one thing to go 0 for 3, but when the pitcher just keeps chalking up the case. How many strikeouts is that now for Vincent? That's going to be 8 for him, right?
8 for him. And I think right here, Coach Baum, when he got the burn on his arm in the outfield, they're trying to get the blood off and everything, and they're kind of waiting on him to get that off to get up to the plate. Jake Leitner, of course, was speaking, and there we finally see Vincent take his hat off. It's a full head of hair right there. As you can see, I think he got a little bandage on his arm from where he dove for the ball.
I was watching one of your games on ESPNU, and Prince Munoz for New Mexico couldn't keep his hat on because he had so much hair, but at least Vincent keeps the hat on.
Yeah, it kept falling off. Then it's a distraction to the hitter.
Here's Jake Leitner after that defensive gem out in right field. He struck out twice, and he jumps on the first pitch, and it's foul. And it's 0-1. So between Colby Ott, who is the number 4 hitter, the cleanup hitter, and Jake Leitner, number 5, there's 5 strikeouts in the books against Chase Vincent.
And now the umpire asked him to put some more tape on it and wrap it up.
On-plate umpire, of course, Roger Wolf, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast. Here's the catch by Leitner in the last inning, taking away a base hit. Each team with 3 base hits in the ball game. Missouri 3-3-0, and Illinois 0-3-1 right now. Here's the 0-1 pitch, lefty on lefty. Vincent and Leitner. Slow grounder to second base. Broker will go to first, so Leitner pushes the runner to second, so he gets the job done. That's Ebersol now at second base, and there's 2 down. So Eddie Martin steps in after striking out. He doubled and scored a run back in the 4th inning. This one hit about 6 feet in front of home plate. Allows Ebersol to move down to third base, and Missouri with that 4th run just 90 feet away.
Yeah, that'll go down as a wild pitch. I don't even know how the catcher got in front of it. Trot block.
Yeah, Rademacher, the catcher, kind of glanced at the pitch and said, "Well, what was that?" It's 92 degrees out here. Let's keep it up. This one's fouled out of play, and it's 1-1. Hobbies.
He's got a lot of them.
Yeah.
Bowling, cornhole, golf, and rugby.
Right. Zach Bone said he's the kind of player that you can invent a game and Martin's going to show up and beat you at it. I used to have a friend like that growing up. Playing wiffle ball in the backyard. Invent a game and he'd show up and he'd beat you. So frustrating.
We don't see him and Evan Lepler play, ultimate frisbee. I wonder how it'd be at ultimate frisbee.
This one's outside. It's 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner down at third base.
And that was pitch number 93 there for Chase.
Skipped this one to home plate too, so he might be getting a little bit tired.
And that may be it for him, and we'll see.
A couple of his pitchers. And we see the long walk from the dugout. See if they grab the ball from the lefty, Vincent. 7 strikeouts, but this inning he's skipped 2 or 3 to home plate. And 1 allowing the runner to get down to third base. Yeah, if they're going to grab the ball, that's going to be it for Chase Vincent.
Yeah, and you can see there Chase Vincent using that breaking ball. He had a good game. He's kept his team in this game, and you see all his strikeouts there. Most of them looking for that breaking ball. But a great job today for Chase.
That's a look at who's next in today's game, brought to you by Geico. So there's the line, 4 2/3 for Chase Vincent, 8 strikeouts. A lot of goose eggs until the last inning. They gave up 3. We're going to take a break as they make the pitching change for Illinois.
What do Michael Jordan, Bill Clinton, John Bon Jovi, Albert Pujols, and Lou Dobbs all have in common? They all participated in American Legion youth programs. The nation's largest veteran service organization provides healthy educational activities for young people, including Boys State and Boys Nation, American Legion baseball, oratorical competition, youth cadet law enforcement, and more. See how to get involved with American Legion programs at legion.org/programs.
Listen, this is not the end for you.
I already put on my comfy pants. I'm so cozy. Old Spotty Swagger.
Listen, there's a place full of sports. People watching sports. The guys are wearing them all.
Well, we're back. What do you have on Dalton Dalby, the main guy out of the pen for Illinois?
Yeah, he's going to be the first guy out of the pen. That's what they've done here, and he's going to throw a fastball on a curve, and it's going to be in the low to mid 80s. And you know, he had a great season. He was 5-0 in the year, so we'll see what he can do right here with runners on first and third.
He comes in with 2 outs. He pitched in game 1. He threw 1 inning, gave up a couple of runs, 3 hits, faced 5 batters. Did not play in game 2 in the victory. And he comes in facing Chuck Pratt, the third baseman. So Vincent goes over to first base, and Jake Stipp moves out to right field. Well, he throws some heat. This one's up high for a ball. It's 2-1. Runners on the corners, first and third, 2 outs. Pratt singled in his last at-bat. He eventually scored on a wild pitch. Scored the second run of the ball game. After Eddie Martin scored, after Hancock was walked. Hard ground ball to Spicer down there at third base, and comes up with a nice play. And there's that stretch we talked about with Chase Vincent at first base. Did that a lot here in the World Series. So they get out of the inning, and Missouri leaving a couple more stranded. They threatened, but it's still 3-0 as we head for the 6th right now.
Man, want to get your edge back after 40? More energy, drive, performance. Do what the big hurt Frank Thomas did.
You look lean, Frank. What gives? After 40, mints go down. It's harder to stay in shape. Why? Our free testosterone levels drop. It happened to me, and then I found Nugenix Total T.
New Nugenix Total T is our most powerful man-boosting formula ever because it boosts your free testosterone and your total testosterone. From the brand that brought you GNC's #1 vitality product, Nugenix Total T helps provide even more energy, performance, testosterone, and muscle-boosting ingredients for even better results. To get your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, text SLAM 231231.
You'll feel like a new man on the field and off the field.
I gotta try Nugenix Total T.
Text SLAM 231231 now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. That's SLAM 231231.
You're watching the American Legion World Series as part of Summer of Next, presented by Geico. Along with Steve Woodard, the former flamethrower out of Hartselle, Alabama. Went to the Milwaukee Brewers right out of high school. Mike Gleason, great to have you with us the first of 3 games here. As we hit the home stretch, headed for the semifinals tomorrow here of the 2019 American Legion World Series. Jordan Duncan back on the hill, heading for the 6th inning right now. Going to face the top of the order for Illinois. Ernest Plummer, Dakota Broker, and Chase Rademacher.
Man,
it's hot.
They're having fun, man. They're getting a little sun out there. He's enjoying the time there.
It's hot. Why not? Sit in the 90s, come out and work on your tan.
That's what we need to do the game out there, man.
Can you imagine doing 3 games in the sun? I'd be talking about teams that aren't even here. First pitch to Plummer, misses for a ball. Danville, Illinois. One of four first-timers here in the World Series. Illinois, Louisiana, Idaho Falls, Idaho, and Albuquerque, New Mexico. So that just leaves Alaska, Wyoming, and Vermont. 3 states that have not produced a World Series team from their state.
Not sure where that missed, but not what you want to do there. Jordan Duncan coming out here in the 6th inning and throwing 4 straight balls to get the leadoff guy home.
And Plummer, that's the 2nd time he's walked. And here's Dakota Broker, the 2nd baseman. Broker's struck out and walked in his 2 at-bats. Illinois trying to get something going. I mentioned the fact they hit 374. And coming into the ballgame, they've gone from 374, hitting 217 as a team. Nice bunts. Played nicely by Duncan off the mound, and then the sac bunt pushes Plummer down to 2nd base.
Yeah, good job getting the bunt down. I actually thought it was going to get by Jordan there for a minute, but recovered well. And the main thing for them is get outs.
Rademacher singled back in the 1st inning and grounded out to the 3rd baseman, Pratt. He's 1 for 2. There's a breaking ball way outside by Duncan, and it's ball 1 on Rademacher. This one's down towards the wall, the warning track. 1 bouncer off the wall. Illinois is on the board. It's going to be a stand-up double for Rademacher. So he's 2 for 3, and Illinois, most importantly, though, is on the board as Rademacher picks up the RBI double.
Yeah, good job by Rademacher of staying on this fastball and driving it down into the left field. We can see that the fastball up a little bit, driving it down into the left field corner to get the first run of the day over the plate for Illinois.
So here's Vincent now, started the game on the hill. Into a 6-4-3 double play and flew out to the center fielder. It looks like he's going to do that twice now. Coming on strong. There's another diving stab, but it drops in for a base hit this time. J.B. Bridges couldn't quite catch up to it.
Yeah, he gave a great effort there. Hopefully he's okay there. Run out and check on him.
Well, he tried to match Jake Leitner that time with the diving stab and just couldn't quite hold on to it.
Yes, he did. You can see here, I thought it was going to be called actually at first, and then saw him running hard after it, but what a great effort going after it.
He got to it, too.
Yeah.
So 1 run in and still 1 out. Runners on 1st and 2nd now. The 3-1 ball game. And here's Logan Spicer.
And Missouri has got someone going down their bullpen. Jeremy Eisenman warming up, getting hot.
First pitch in for a strike. Spicer led the team in the regular season with 49 ribbies and 3 home runs. And he came back with 9 RBI in the regionals and hitting .571. So comes through with a big base hit. This heads for the gap, and it's cut off by the left fielder Colby Ott. But here comes 1 run in. We have a 3-2 ball game. The throw in, runners on the corners now, still 1 out. So Rademacher and then Vincent, now Spicer. Back-to-back-to-back base hits now for Illinois, and their bats have come alive.
Yeah, their bats have come alive, and what a great job there with Spicer, taking this fastball and driving in the left center field gap to get another run in, and now they have another runner in scoring position.
Well, Woody, the way that Jordan Duncan was cruising along once they got that 3-0 lead, looked like it was pretty comfortable. We talked about, well, they can breathe a little bit easier now, but Illinois, we mentioned, They haven't ripped the cover off the baseball here in Shelby, but in the regionals, we mentioned almost 375. So their bats are starting to warm up. A lot for Sunday Night Baseball at Sports Center with Kenny, Maine, and Michael Eves. They'll wrap up the weekend series as we look ahead for the final 6 weeks of the regular season. Plus, former Seahawk quarterback Matt Hasselbeck sits down with current Seahawk quarterback Russell Wilson. And the Steeler legend Rocky Bleier makes an emotional return to Vietnam 50 years after being seriously injured there. That's Sports Center after the Cubs Pirates and ESPN. Here's a first pitch on Hofer, and that's going to be trouble. That's going to bring in a run. 3 guys converge on the ball. They're going to get the force out at second base, but the tying run comes in.
Yeah, the most important thing is the tying run came in, but they all converged there in one little spot, and the ball dropped in between all 3 of them there. And you can see here on the pop-up, let's see where we didn't see where the runner, we didn't see where the ball hit, but it was right in between all 3 of them.
Here's Dave Stipp. But that last promo, Rocky Bleier going back to Vietnam, I met him years ago, and right after this pitch, I was staring at him, and he looked at me, and I said, I apologize, I didn't mean to stare at you, but you're Rocky Bleier. And he goes, yeah. I said, you don't look that big. And he goes, no, and I'm not that fast. He said, I was always at the right place at the right time. He said, out of Appleton, Wisconsin, he said his parents wanted him to go to Notre Dame. He didn't really want to go there. He went there. First game, they went to West Virginia. He was like 3rd on the depth chart. And the starter got in trouble the night before the game. The second stringer got injured in pregame. And so lo and behold, he said he started. And then he gets to the Steelers. He said Frenchie Fuqua was a lot better than he was, but he fumbled a lot. And Chuck Noll stuck him in the lineup. And the rest is history. And they're out of the inning, but another big inning, or the first really big inning for Illinois. Bats heated up. Now Illinois with 6 base hits, and they come back to tie it up. It's 3-3 as we head for the bottom of the 6th inning.
That's the world-famous and world-changing sound of the banjo, as played by American icon Earl Scruggs. You're invited to the Earl Scruggs Center to explore Earl's legacy, along with other music and stories of the American South, through engaging exhibits and state-of-the-art technology. Located in historic Shelby, North Carolina, between Asheville and Charlotte, the Earl Scruggs Center is a great place to visit. To plan your trip, visit earlscruggscenter.org.
Right there.
Okay. The $1 movers deal.
Well, I know it looks like a lot of stuff here, but between the 3 of you guys,
Or you could get a real deal. McDonald's buy one, get one for $1 deal this year. Buy one of your faves and choose another for just an extra $1.
5 important facts. 1. Crude oil is crude. 2. Natural gas is pure. 3. Pennzoil is the first motor oil made from natural gas, not crude. 4. It gives you unbeatable engine protection. And 5, you can't beat that. The proof is in the Pennzoil. Available at AutoZone and AutoZone.com.
Now that you have new Dr. Scholl's Massaging Gel Advanced Insoles with softer, bouncier gel waves, you'll move over 10% more than before. Dr. Scholl's, born to move.
American Legion World Series as part of Summer of Next is brought to you by North Carolina Tourism. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Miralax, it works with the water in your body to unblock your system naturally. Well, both teams are putting on 3 spots on the board. Missouri did it first back in the 4th inning, and now Illinois comes back. In their half of number 6, here's the bottom of the 6th inning. The leadoff man is Isaac Hamilton. High fly ball out to Mason Ecker. There's 1 up and 1 down in the 6th.
Yeah, both teams have kind of done it different ways. We were talking about, Missouri, walks and different things and getting them across the board. And then Illinois came out and swinging the bat in the last inning.
This is Christian Hancock. He's walked twice, but the second time he walked, came with the bases loaded, so he got the first RBI of the game. It's a vicious cut, and it's 0-1. So Missouri scoring with a bases loaded walk. The second one came in on a wild pitch, and the third on a sac fly out to left field.
And if you ever talk about, we don't talk about momentum too much in baseball, but it looks like a huge momentum swing here, didn't it? It's completely changed.
Absolutely. Changed in a hurry there. Caught the inside corner. Another one goes down on strike, so looking. So J.B. Bridges at the top of the order. He struck out twice and walked.
And you can see Dalby's fastball here, the mid-80s fastball there on the inside part of the plate. And another guy looking.
And that first pitch that broke right over the center of the plate. Strike one. Fly ball, center fielder Mason Ecker moves back into his right. And that's only 2 outs. They're all running out the field, and the pitcher, Dobby.
Well, that's 3.
No, it's 3.
I want to say it was catcher's interference.
Oh, okay, that's what the call was.
That's the 3rd time we've seen that in the last 2 days here, I think.
Good call. So I looked at my book, I saw 2 outs. And then all of a sudden, Dalby, so he must have picked up on the umpire right away, huh? Because Dalby was waving everybody back on.
You don't see that much, and that's, like we said, that's 3 times in these in the last 2 days we've seen that.
So here's Duncan, who had the RBI on the sac fly out to left field at Hofer his last time up. It's a slow breaking pitch, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, Dobby looks like Jordan Duncan did early in this game, working fast, throwing strikes.
Well, you look at this Missouri team, of course, you're talking about that high draft pick for Idaho, Hoster. They lost a player also to the Rangers, Michael Brewer. Left a huge void, a 6'4", 210-pounder, throws in the mid-90s, sent 7 home runs in 12 games before the Rangers nabbed him in the draft. So Brewer left. There's a shot right up the middle. Second base hit for Duncan. Runners on first and second now with 2 outs.
Yeah, good job by Jordan, just taking the fastball, taking what he gave him, hitting it right up the middle.
So the go-ahead run out at second base now, and Levi Ebersol, who singled back in the first inning, laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd, and then he was hit by a pitch in the 5th, where he was stranded on 3rd base when the inning came to a close. So now batting in the 6th with runner up on first and second. I didn't see anything on the screen there with the gun, but threw some heat that time.
Yeah, they're saying low to mid-80s, and looks like it's coming up there pretty good.
Maybe it's just the fact that it hit the mids.
Yeah, your catcher can make you look real good if he knows how to catch it.
That was the low of the mid-80s. I hate to see something in the 90s. I mean, you topped out at what, 94, you said?
93, 94, back a long, long time ago. But pitched at 88 to 90, 91.
High pop-up. Rademacher calling for it, and he gets it throughout the inning. So Missouri in the 6th. We head for the 7th. We are deadlocked. Remember, the winner goes on to the semifinals. Loser goes home.
We trust USA more than any other company out there. They give us excellent customer service every time.
Our 18-year-old was in an accident. USA took care of her car rental and getting her car towed. All I had to take care of was making sure that my daughter was okay.
If I met another veteran and they were with another insurance company, I would tell them, you need to join USAA because they have better rates and better service.
We're the Gomez family.
We're the Rivera family. We are the Kirby family, and we are USAA members for life.
Get your auto insurance quote today.
Life and health go hand in hand, arm in arm, side by side. That's why every month nearly 1 million people choose Atrium Health for nationally recognized heart, cancer, pediatric care, and more. You deserve to climb that mountain, to dance that dance, to hear that news. Because living your best life starts with having your best health. And our experts make it possible.
Well, not a lot of drama when Missouri got things on the board, snapping a scoreless tie. They walked the first one in. Wild pitch brought in the second run in, Woody. Then they scored on a sac fly. Then the Illinois bats exploded.
Yeah,
they got for number 6.
Yeah, they kind of did it different ways there. You see this ball that dropped in on a good diving catch there, and then a blooper there in between 3 guys in left field, scoring another run, and then a double in the gap. So they kind of done it different ways.
So Illinois, they've out-hit Missouri right now, 3-6-2. And Missouri at 3-4-0 as we go to the top of the 7th right now, trying to snap this 3-3 deadlock. It's going to be the 8-9 hitters, then they go to the top of the order.
And Jordan Duncan is still out there, so they're still going with him.
Dalton Dobby, who came into pitch, he'll be hitting for Noah Rourke right now in that 8th spot. First at bat in the World Series for Dalby. Tries to lay down a bunt. He pitched in game 1, just a 1 inning. Didn't play in game number 2. Made 3 appearances in the regionals, did not bat. Picked up a victory and a save. Now he gets to swing the bat.
Yeah, they're swinging the bat just to keep him in the game here to pitch.
And he gets behind in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jordan Duncan here. Top of the 7th inning. 3-3. And he comes through with a base hit. That's nice to see.
Who said pitchers can hit, right?
Exactly. So Dalton Dalby produces the 7th base hit for Illinois. And now here's the number 9 hitter, Mason Eckert, who singled back in the 3rd and struck out in the 5th.
So you got to wonder, I mean, they got to play bunt right here and got to get that guy in the scoring position.
Gets away from Isaac Hamilton, and now the go-ahead run down at second base in Dalton Dobby.
So you better believe he's going to be bunting again to get him to third base.
Well, he squared around and pulled back. It's in for a strike. 1-1.
Well, it looked like he was trying to bunt actually for a hit. I don't know. I mean, I would give myself up right here, do whatever it took to get this ball down and get this guy to third base.
Ooh. Tough break there now, just 90 feet away. Here's the throw at third, though. They might have a play. No, the throw's off the mark. And Dalton Dalby goes down to third base. So Illinois trailing 3-0 in the game, came back with 3 in the 6th. Now they got the go-ahead run down at third base with nobody down. So Zach Bone is going to come talk things over right now. Better settle down his pitcher or take the ball. And he's going to take the ball?
Yeah, he waited for the guy in the bullpen as he was getting to the line.
So Jordan Duncan had been pitching a pretty impressive game.
Yeah, he had a great game today. You know, he threw the ball well, and unfortunate to leave here with a runner on third base here in the 7th inning in scoring position.
So he goes 6 full, giving up 3 runs and 7 hits, and hits for the dugout. Missouri goes to the bullpen, and we're going to take a break. We'll be back after the warm-up pitches here at Cuter Stadium.
Hear the waves?
It's the first that stay with us. They make our hearts race, our eyes widen, our hands sweat. The lines of our smiles deepen in our cheeks. The magic of experiencing something for the very first time never gets old. Come, experience firsts that last in North Carolina.
5 important facts. 1, crude oil is crude. 2, natural gas is pure. 3, Pennzoil is the first motor oil made from natural gas, not crude. 4, it gives you unbeatable engine protection. And 5, you can't beat that. The proof is in the Pennzoil.
Available at AutoZone and AutoZone.com.
Introducing the Impossible Whopper with a patty made from plants, no beef.
No beef.
I've never had plant taste like beef before.
Tastes like a Whopper. Tastes like a Whopper. Tastes like a beef burger.
Lies!
Introducing the Impossible Whopper, available nationwide, only at Burger King.
I switched to Miralax for my constipation. Stimulant laxatives forcefully stimulate the nerves in your colon. Miralax works with the water in your body to unblock your system naturally, and it doesn't cause bloating, cramping, gas, or sudden urgency. Miralax. Look for the pink app.
Well, back in Cuter Stadium, that's number 23, Jeremy Eisenman. What do you have on Jeremy?
Jeremy, he's got a good fastball. He'll throw a slider and a split. He's going to throw mid to upper 80s. Throw all 3 pitches for strikes. And we're talking to the coaches. Our man Johnny Cueto that pitches in the big leagues, he does a lot of things like him. Try to keep the hitter's balance off, pick it up, hold it, go. So I'm pretty anxious to see him pitch.
Favorite movie, remember the Titans trying to become a Titan right now because that go-ahead runner down at third base with nobody down here in the top of the 7th inning.
They're bringing him in here, right here, to keep that guy from scoring. And you can see right now they brought the infield in. And
nobody down, the number 9 hitter, Mason Ecker. And then we go back to the top of the order with Plummer, Broker, and Rademacher. Eisenman picked up a couple of wins, as you pointed out, in the regionals. In one win, he didn't have his best stuff, according to Zach Bone, but he battled. Can you remember a game where you just did not have your best stuff, but you battled and you wound up picking up the win, or at least a no decision?
Yeah, there was a lot. I mean, you usually don't have your best stuff, and you got to learn how to pitch and learn how to compete and keep your team in the game. And it's a tough job out there, man.
This one's on a play. You know, growing up watching baseball, Major League Baseball, you just don't think of it as a pitcher most of the time not having your best stuff. You just
you think they got their good stuff all the time like you do in Little League or something, but no, it don't work that way.
Says a lot about the mental part of the game, huh?
It does.
So Duncan went over to second base. Martin's on third now. And Pratt is over at first base. So Pratt goes from first to third.
You got to wonder if you're going to see that split right here. They're fouling off those 2 fastballs. Stayed hard on him.
Deadlocked at 3. Winner goes on to the semifinals. So it's popped up and it's drifting out of play. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
What a good job of battling him here and fouling off those tough pitches. You know, Mike, I think a lot of times people take for granted, you know, the pitchers take for granted. You see you got first base open, second base open. You technically don't have to give in to anybody right here. You know, you can make your pitch and try to get them to chase.
Right, nice play. Nice play up on the hill by Jeremy Eisenman.
And that was that split finger we were talking about that just got him out front enough. And filling your position like that and keeping that runner at third.
So what you just said, with the runners at first and second open, or the bases at first and second, do you think a 17, 18-year-old is thinking that? Or
well,
that's just your experience.
Well, from talking and looking at his numbers, 19 walks in 44 innings, and I mean he's got good control, so you can do things like that.
It's the top of the order. Ernest Plummer goes by EP. Walked and stole a base back in the first. Wound up getting stranded. Then he hit a line shot back to the pitcher, hit into a 1-3 double play. Then he walked and scored a run in the sixth. One of the 3 runs pushed across by Illinois. Here's a chopper, and this is going to bring in a run. That's the go-ahead run, just over the head of Duncan, the second baseman. Duncan was playing in a little bit, but there's no way, even if he was playing normally, I don't think he would have got that one.
Yeah, I mean, he was playing in, it bounced over his head, but you know, just a good job of putting the ball on the ground and driving that run in from third. And you can see here, right in front of the plate, bounces, and just too high to get to it. Got a 4-3 game now.
4-3 game, Illinois after trailing 3-0. Illinois came here, lost the opening game. Came up with just 3 hits against a very, very good Louisiana club. They bounced back to beat New Mexico 13-2. And they trailed 3-0 in this ball game. A winner take all, and now they lead it 4-3 in the 7th. So Missouri will bat in the bottom of the 7th. Keep in mind, these are 7-inning ball games. And for a while there, Jordan Duncan, the starting pitcher, was cruising along with a 3-0 lead.
And then he walked the 6th inning, walked the first guy of the inning on 4 pitches, and then it all kind of just fell apart.
Well, you know, I should really clarify that. I said he was cruising along with a 3-0 lead. It was 3-0 for 1 inning. Illinois posted zeros on the scoreboard for the first 5 before putting 3 on in the 6th inning now.
Yeah, but he was going comfortably in the game, and you know the game was actually in his control, you know, up until that point. It just tells you how important throwing strikes and getting ahead in the count is.
So officially, Broker just 0 for 1 in the ball game after laying down a sacrifice bunt, and
you can see there Mike him picking up his leg. I don't know if anybody really caught that, but picked up his leg, paused, and then went.
So Broker, after opening up against Louisiana, 0 for 3 and stranding a couple of runners, bounced back. Big game in the second game, the victory over New Mexico, 2 for 4. Scored 3 runs and drove home 2.
He's making some quality pitches, and they're just doing a great job of battling and fouling them off.
Just 1 down here in the 7th inning. Wiseman can get out of the inning, and they'll come into the bottom of the 7th. The pressure will be on Dalby, who went 5-1 with 1 save for Illinois in the regular season. Picked up a win in the regionals. And runners going. Here's the throw. It's not in time. So Plummer has a second stolen base. He walked and stole a base back in the first inning. And with one down, Illinois has another runner in scoring position here against Missouri. Well, Broker goes behind the runner, goes the opposite way. It slides out to right field. It's going to be an RBI. So Plummer comes around to score the second run, and Illinois out front right now, 5-3.
Yeah, Broker did a good job of just going the other way with the ball and trying to actually just move the runner over, it looked like. And we can see here, and it was just out of the reach of the first baseman, and goes into right field for another run coming in.
There's Rademacher now, the catcher, who had an RBI double his last at-bat and scored a run. So he's 2 for 3 with a single in the first, grounded out to third, and had the RBI double. Now with a runner on first base, still one out, facing Jeremy Eisenman.
You know, it's crazy going back to that Mike talking about the momentum change, the switch. I mean, it just completely went the other way, didn't it?
It certainly did. I mean, the way it was going when Missouri scored those 3 runs back in the fourth inning. Even though it was only the fourth inning, the 7th inning game, I thought it was game, set, match.
I did too. And they just completely turned it around and put five runs up on the board.
So take your hats off to Illinois for not knowing the meaning of the word quit. And if they can hold on and win this ball game now as they go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and they'll be headed for the semifinals with a 2-1 record. There's a drive, and this is going to be trouble. Chased down by Bridges out center field. Runners on the corners now. First and third, still one out. So Rademacher has his third base hit.
As you see here, Rademacher just taking the fastball and taking what he gave him and hitting right center field. Runners on the corners again.
And Chase Vincent, first baseman who started the game on the mound, steps in and he goes for a shot right up the middle for the RBI single. Runners on first and second now. And we've got a 6-3 ball game.
Yeah, and these Illinois bats that we were talking about early in the series, I'll tell you what, they have come to life.
Well, you can say that again. Yeah, 11 base hits in the game.
Yeah, Vincent, not only a great job at pitching, you can see him hitting right there and dropping that ball to center field and dropping in a run.
They averaged in the regionals just under 12 hits a game. They came in averaging about 5. Now they have 11. Here's a high chopper over by second base, and well, when it rains, it pours. Hancock had a hard time handling that one, but they do get the force out. First, I didn't think they got him on second base.
I didn't either. I thought he was in front of the bag, but he stayed with it and kept his foot on the bag. You can see it here again. It was a tough hop right there. Yep, he stayed on the bag right there.
He almost pulled his foot as he finally got control of the baseball. But there's 2 outs now with runners on the corners again for Hofer. Hofer had an RBI single back in the 6th inning. He gets his second base hit and his second RBI. The 2-out single drives home a run, and we've got a 7-3 ball game.
Yeah, they're doing it all the way now, 1 through 9. Everybody's getting in with the action.
And speaking of 1 through 9, this is the 9th hitter right now in the 7th inning, Jake Stipp. The relief pitcher Dalby opened up the inning with a base hit and scored the go-ahead run. And right now he's going to go out in the bottom of the 7th inning with a 4-run lead.
And if you'd have told me it was going to be a 7-3 game right now, going into the bottom of the 7th, I wouldn't believe you.
You'd say, what kind of Kool-Aid are you drinking? Eisenman just wants to get out of the inning and get to the dugout right now.
And that's frustrating. You see Osmond there, he's frustrated. I mean, yeah, you can tell. I mean, but you know, that was a good pitch, and man, they're fouling the ball off, doing everything to make the pitcher work.
Yeah, his body language there says it all. He just wants to get out the mound right now, get Missouri up to bat, see what they can do at the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the breaking pitch, misses outside for a ball. It's 2-2, 2 outs, 2 runners on. 4 in already here in the 7th inning for Illinois.
Now the runners are being motioned, full count, 2 out.
You know, talk about bats coming to life. Illinois now 8 for 13 with runners in scoring position in the ball game. Missouri just 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. And we get the bases juiced with 2 outs. As we go through the order, it's going to be Dalton Dalby starting things off here in the 7th inning. All right, you're up 7-3. What are they talking about down there by the third base offensively now? As Dalby walks over there to talk things over with the coach. It's like, just hey, don't strain yourself. We need you out to the pitch, or let's keep it going. Or
they're just having fun, man. That's it. They're probably talking about what they have for breakfast.
Well, they're having fun. You saw the big smile and laughing on Dalby's face. But he's thinking, hey, I already got a single and scored a run.
I want to get 2 hits.
2 hits in the same inning. Absolutely.
I wonder if he's ever done that before.
So Illinois goes through the order here in the 7th inning after scoring 4 times already. Dalby takes the first pitch outside. There's a slow grounder to Hancock at shortstop rather, and fires over to Pratt. We're finally out of the inning. And Illinois comes up big at 3 in the 6th, 4 more in the 7th inning. We're headed for the bottom of the 7th inning. Missouri, this could be their last at-bats. Winner goes on to the semifinals.
Here's to the Little Leaguers, reminding us why we love this game. The Little League World Series on the networks of ESPN.
My son needs this drug. I hope it doesn't cost too much. I hope my insurance pays for it. Can you tell me how much this will be? $67. Sorry. Wait, have you heard about GoodRx? GoodRx finds free coupons to help you save up to 80% on your prescriptions. Wow. I had no idea. GoodRx. Stop paying too much for your prescriptions.
When I'm on the field, I feel at home, especially when I'm watching college and pro football with Dish. With games on every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, ending with Monday Night Football on ESPN. That's a lot of football. And Dish made it easy to find the games you're looking for with the Game Finder app. Game Finder. If only I could check on all the stats.
With Dish, watch tons of college and pro football on ESPN.
Welcome back inside Keeter Stadium as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Illinois trying to protect that 7-3 lead and head on to the semifinals tomorrow. And it's going to be Colby Ott, Jake Leitner, and Eddie Martin. Top 3 hitters here in the 7th inning. Colby Ott came in hitting .333. He has struck out 3 times in the ball game, and you try to, it's the next time you try to shake that off. You strike out 3 times, that kind of plays mental games.
Yeah, it probably does. And he's willing to do anything right here to get on base and just give these guys a chance.
Dalby ready to work. Missouri, they've left 9 runners on base in the first 6 innings. Here they are hitting in the bottom of the 7th inning. Coming up 45 minutes after this ball game, it's going to be Massachusetts and North Dakota. North Dakota in the same boat, so to speak, as Missouri and Illinois. They're 1-1, and they need the victory to move on.
Well, not what you want to do there after putting up a 4 spot there in the top of the 7th. 3-0 on the first hitter of the inning.
And if North Dakota wins the ball game, and North Carolina beats Idaho tonight, if they did that, they go to head-to-head. North Dakota still advances, right?
Yeah, North Dakota beat North Carolina yesterday.
But Colby Ott finally gets on base with a base on balls as Missouri tries to get something going. Here's Jake Leitner. Yeah, he struck out twice.
Yeah, Mike, you can believe that Missouri is not swinging until each of them get a strike. All they care about is getting base runners.
Let's go, Jake.
Leitner steps in. He's ready to go. He came in hitting .400. So besides the 2 strikeouts today, he's grounded out to the second baseman, Broker. And the first pitch missing for a ball. Wow. This one missing. That looked good from here, but obviously Roger Wolf has a lot better look at it than we do. Got the corner for a strike, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Nice piece of hitting, goes the opposite way, and that's going to give Hofer some problems out there. That's going to bring in a run. Here comes Ott all the way around from first base, and now we have a 7-4 ball game as Leitner comes up with a stand-up double.
Yeah, Leitner, great job of hitting, and Missouri, you can see the fight. They're not giving up, and they're going to battle you to the end. And see here, Leitner taking that fastball that's up and away and just driving it down into the left field corner for a double.
So Alan Shepard's got that's going to do it. Dalby's out of the ball game now with nobody down. Runner at second base. Illinois goes to the pen. So we're going to take a timeout as they make the pitching change here. Nobody down, 7-4. 1 run in already from Missouri here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
We trust USA more than any other company out there. They give us excellent customer service every time.
Our 18-year-old was in an accident. USA took care of her car rental and getting her car towed. All I had to take care of was making sure that my daughter was okay.
If I met another veteran and they were with another insurance company, I would tell them, you need to join USAA because they have better rates and better service.
We're the Gomez family. We're the Rivera family.
We are the Kirby family, and we are USAA members for life.
Get your auto insurance quote today. When you eat Reese's for dessert, is it over too fast? Well, then chill your Reese's. You'll eat it slower. I wouldn't know. I swallow mine whole. Like a duck. Not sorry, Reese's.
It's happening. DQ heard our call. The Snickers Blizzard is back.
Now with the new peanut butter pie blizzard made with Snickers.
Oh, what did they call this app?
DQ, happy tastes good.
Well, catcher to pitcher, Chase Rademacher takes over on the hill.
Yeah, that's a tough way to do it right there after catching the entire day. But on the year, he was 5-0 on the year, and you know, he's going to come in throwing a fastball and a breaking ball, and right now he's got to come in and just throw strikes. They got a 3-run lead, and all he's wanting to do is get outs. Is all he's wanting to do.
Well, they say, you know, when we get to this juncture, though, Alan Shepard said he wants the ball late, and he said he'll just pound the strike zone.
Yeah, there's been a lot of, you know, over the years, a lot of catchers that end up, you know, their careers down the road becoming pitchers. And
made 2 appearances in the regionals. Making his first pitching appearance here in the World Series.
Man, that's gotta be a tough job after catching, you know, 6 innings, having to come and try to close this thing out.
Well, offensively, he certainly has helped out, going 3 for 4 in the ball game. A single, an RBI double, and another single in the 7th inning. Now he's trying to close things out. Well, we'll see if number 13 backs up with his head coach. Alan Shepard told us that he wants the ball in this situation. He's going to pound the strike zone. Comes in with nobody down, 1 run in, runner at second base. Here's Eddie Martin. Eddie Martin doubled and scored back in the 4th, walked in his last at-bat in the 5th.
Very important pitch there, strike 1.
Slow breaker. I don't know if it's considered pounding the strike zone, but it's in for a strike, and it's 0-2 on Martin. Just missed that corner.
Yeah, that was a good fastball there on the outside part of the plate. Just missed. See if he goes back to that slow one or comes back with the heat.
That one caught it.
And there was the slow one you were talking about, Mike, and taking through the hitter off balance, and he didn't know what to do.
That's a big one. It's the first out.
Yeah, and you see him just sitting there waiting.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, Eddie Martin did not like that call. Nice job by Trevor Davis, who just came in to catch to slide that last pitch just a couple of inches.
Yeah, just a couple of inches up, and he ended just a little bit, and there he come back with that slow breaking ball.
So Chuck Bratt comes on now with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. One pitch and check swing, and this check swing finds its way to right field for a base hit.
There was that check swing on that slow breaking ball there, but just out of the reach of Chase Vincent.
Boy, that check swing was barely a half swing, and it just got over the glove of Chase Vincent down at first base. Nice effort by Vincent, but now runners on the corners with 1 out.
Now the time runs at the plate,
right? Hamilton. He's walked and flown out to the center fielder, Mason Eckert, twice. So officially he's 0 for 2. This one gets away from Davis, and runners on second and third now. Earlier in the broadcast, you mentioned that double play ball, a pitcher's best friend.
Yeah, now it's out of, you know, technically he don't mean nothing, but him staying at first base with a, you know, a double play ball right there could get you out of this inning.
Well, that's pounding the strike zone right there.
That's a good fastball.
Comes back in the slow curve. First strike, 1 and 2.
That thing is slow. It's getting the hitters off.
Trying to dust that outside corner. He misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes, just 1 out. 2 runners on. Trailing by 3.
And I bet he comes back with this slow breaking ball.
There's that slow breaking pitch. Barely fouled off by Hamilton to stay alive. And Hamilton's thinking, you know what, I'm going to see that same pitch coming in again probably.
Could you hit breaking balls when you were playing?
No, I was a fastball guy.
Fastball, better hit the fastball.
There's that same pitch coming in, and this time another player, this time Hamilton caught looking. So Illinois now 1 out away from moving on to the semifinals tomorrow night here in Shelby.
And you can see that breaking ball that we've been talking about, that slow breaking ball that just makes you want to just give up on it. Another backward K. It looks good, but you just can't swing, you know, and it's...
Talk about dust the corner though, huh? That just scraped that outside corner with the breaking pitch. Here's Christian Hancock, the number 9 hitter, with a couple of ducks on the pond out there. Connor Wilkinson, excuse me. So Zach Bone going with the pinch hitter.
That was unusual. He had sunglasses on hitting with and took them off and gave them back to the coach.
Wilkinson, according to Zach Bone, has been a big bat off the bench. Came through in the districts with some big hits. Matter of fact, here in the World Series, he pinch hit in the second game and hit a home run, a solo shot. So obviously Bone hoping he comes through again here in a pinch hitting role with 2 down.
Hoping he can do that again.
Yeah, if he could do that again with a pinch hit home run, that'd be a 3-run shot. That would take the air out of.
Yes, it would.
Buddy's behind in the count, 1 and 2. 2 outs, 2 runners on, down by 3. Chase Rademacher, who started the game as the catcher, trying to close things out now for Alan Shepard and this Illinois team. Ooh, 2 strikes. And Connor Wilkinson watches that one go. And it's called for a ball.
And if you're up there hitting Mike, what are you looking for right now? He's doing another breaking ball. I'm thinking breaking ball right now.
That slow curve is coming at him with the 2-2 count.
There it was.
It gets past Davis, that breaking pitch. Another run in. We got a 7-5 ball game. 7-5 game and a runner on third base. 2 runs in now in the 7th inning.
Yeah, but the only one that matters is the guy standing at the plate right now, and that's all we're worried about.
This was scoreless until the 4th inning. Missouri scored 3 in the 4th. And finally in the 6th, Illinois came up with 3, 4 more in the 7th. And it's a good thing they came up with 4, because now that lead has shrunk to 2 at 7-5. Rademacher knowing just 1 strike away from closing this out. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Coming on Connor Wilkinson. There's a ground ball to third base, picked up by Spicer. He fires it, and there's Vincent again with that stretch at first base, and it's a good thing he can do that.
Yeah, that was a great scoop there to save his third baseman there and save this ball game for Illinois.
But Illinois opened up, even though they opened up with a loss, several times. Vincent at first base, that stretch saved runners from reaching first base. Fantastic defensive job, and great job by Illinois coming back to win this thing.
Yeah, talking about, Chase Vincent, the way he pitched today, starting off the game and throwing real well, and then that play there and a couple of hits. But the Illinois bats, I tell you what, they erupted late in the game to put up a 7th spot.
Well, partner, let's check the standings now as Illinois goes to 2-1, and they head for the semifinals. So Louisiana, they have the day off to rest up and think about the semifinals at 3-0. Idaho Falls trying to get there later tonight. So Illinois moves in, and coming up North Dakota and Massachusetts. North Dakota's 1-1, and of course North Carolina 1-1 later tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. The Stars division set. Now we're looking at the Stripes division. We're waiting on this next game. North Dakota can handle it themselves, and we'll go from there.
So a big 6th inning and 7th inning for Alan Shepard in Illinois as they stay alive and move into the semifinals as a runner-up. And Missouri, tough loss. They watch the 3-0 lead dissipates and they lose. For Steve Woodard, Mike Gleason saying so long for our entire crew. But remember, in 45 minutes, we're back with game 2 of 3. It's going to be North Dakota and Massachusetts. We'll see you back here at Shelby Stadium then.
Glad to have you with us, everyone. I'm Reese Davis. The top 3 seeds of the 2018 college football playoff for the 2017 season were no-brainers. Defending champion Clemson, Oklahoma, and Georgia dominated their respective